Alright guys, welcome to this page of the notes, and again what we're doing here is we're doing some slightly more complicated problems where synthetic division is not going to work. You have to do the algebraic division, but they're just a little bit longer, a few more things involved, and we just wanted to try some more complicated ones together before I send you off to do it in the homework or on a quiz. So let's keep going with this. Again, I recognize right away I don't have a leading coefficient of 1, so synthetic division is out, especially since not everybody's divisible by 5. It's not like I could even divide it out. I can't pull a 5 out of everybody, so we got to do the algebraic division. So we go ahead and get it set up by making sure that I don't need any placeholders. 3, 2, 1, 0. Everybody's there, so we're good. We can just set this guy up and get started. Okay, there's my dividend. There's my divisor, and we're all set to get started. Remember, we run through those 4 steps. It is divide, multiply, subtract, and then bring down. Once you go through those 4 steps, you just go back to the top and keep repeating that process until you run out of things to bring down. So 15x cubed divided by 5x is going to give me 3x squared. Okay. Now we multiply 3x squared times 5x, 15x cubed, and 3x squared times a negative 4 is going to be minus 12x squared. We subtract, don't forget your parentheses so that you remember to distribute. Those cancel each other out. Negative times a negative is going to be a positive, which means I have 8x squared plus 12x squared, which should be 20x squared. Bring down. And we do it all over again. 20x squared divided by 5x means that I have 4x. Okay, multiply it out. Minus 16x. Okay, I distribute the minus sign, which gives me a positive 16. So a negative 21 plus 16 should be minus 5. Bring down that last term. Awesome, we're almost there. Just about done. This will be our last time through. Oh, and look at that. Everything cancels except for a minus 1. Very nice, very nice. That gives me a negative 5x. That gives me a positive 4. Distribute the minus sign, which means I wind up with a negative 4, and so 6 minus 4 is going to be a positive 2. So I do have a remainder, which I will add to the back of my quotient and place it over my original divisor so that I get my final answer, 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 plus a remainder of 2 over 5x minus 4 is going to be your the result from doing the division of those polynomials. I got another one. Right here, again, you can check it out, but you'll quickly see that it's synthetic's not going to work. 5, 4, 2, 0. Okay, I'm missing a couple of guys, so make sure that you throw those placeholders in there. 8x to the 5th minus 2x to the 4th plus 0x cubed, right? I'm missing an x cubed, so I need that placeholder. Minus 16x squared plus 0x plus 4. All right, this is a great, big, huge, long one, but I've got everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I now have all of my powers. 2 of them are with placeholders, but that's okay. It'll help me in the end, just to make sure I keep everything lined up and it all works out nice and neat. Okay, we've got it all set up. Let's start off with our division. So 8x to the 5th divided by 4x is going to give me 2x to the 4th. So 2x to the 4th. That's going to give me 8x to the 5th, and that's going to be a minus 2x to the 4th. That's interesting. All right, so what happens here is everybody winds up going away. That's okay. You're going to be tempted to just put a 0 here. Don't do that. Well, you're going to put a 0 there, but we need to make sure that we keep following those x's raised to their appropriate powers all the way through the problem. You'll see why. It'll just help keep you from getting lost in this particular case where these problems you wind up. The subtraction, everything cancels out. So, yes, the result here is 0, but I'm going to keep the x to the 4th, which is perfectly okay because 0 times anything is still just a 0, right? So that still technically is an answer of 0, but because I'm keeping those x to the 4th, right, it'll help me keep track of my variable and what power it's supposed to be to. Bring down, interesting, I'm bringing down is 0. Okay, so anyway, here we go, 0x to the 4th divided by 4x. Well, anything divided by 0 is, of course, going to be 0. But again, the reason that I brought those x's along with me is because I do need to keep track of those powers. X to the 4th divided by x would be x cubed. So I have a 0x cubed. Now again, you know anything times 0 is going to be 0. For now, I'm going to leave that in my quotient. We'll take care of all those zeros at the end. Right now, I need those placeholders just to help me keep everything lined up. So plus 0x cubed. Right? That actually won't be in my final answer, right? Because it's just going to be a 0 and I can throw it out. I don't need it. But for now, I need it so that everything stays nice and lined up. Here we go. 0x cubed times 4. Well, 0 times anything is going to be 0. So I'll wind up with 0x to the 4th. And then 0 times anything is going to be 0. So plus 0x cubed. And we go ahead and we do our subtraction. And once again, wind up with a 0x cubed. Bring down the next term. Again, I recognize, right, everything drops out, but I'm going to hold on to those x's, right? Don't lose those x's and what power they're supposed to be, because again, it'll help you keep everything lined up nice and neat where it's supposed to be. It'll just make your life a whole lot better in the end. If you lost that x and its power, you would quickly get lost in this problem. So my next term is going to be a 0x squared. Again, I know 0, it's not going to wind up being in my final answer, but again, I need it as that placeholder just to help me keep my algebraic division all lined up. 0x cubed and 0x squared. All right, finally, I'm going to get out of this cycle I've been in here with getting zeros. Here's what's going to happen. I have a negative 16x squared minus 0x, so I wind up with negative 16x squared. Okay, finally, we have broken the cycle of zeros, although here's another one. Whatever, we'll see what happens. Negative 16x squared divided by 4x. All right, well, a negative 16 divided by 4 is going to be a negative 4, and I should have an x left over, so negative 4x. Yeah, we're doing good. We're on a roll here. That's going to give me my negative 16x squared. That's going to give me a positive 4x. Fantastic. We go ahead and we do our subtraction. The leading terms drop out. And the negative times the positive makes it negative, so I wind up with minus 4x. All right, I apologize. I'm starting to run out of space, so I am going to have to slide on up a little bit. I don't want to go too far, though, because I don't want to lose any of my work. It should be plenty of space since we are now bringing down our last... we're bringing down our last term, and so this is going to be our last time through, which is great. I think I have just enough space. Okay, here we go. Negative 4x divided by 4x. Awesome, look at that. Comes out to be a negative 1. That's nice. Okay, so I wind up with minus 4x plus 1. In parentheses, subtract. Leading terms drop out. And here's what I wind up with. A positive 4 minus 1 should get me 3. Okay, so here's the way that this is going to work. This is my remainder, 3. Now, I kept a whole bunch of stuff with zeros in it because I needed the placeholders, but it is now time to get rid of those. I don't need them anymore. And so your final answer, 2x to the 4th, 0x cubed is just going to be 0, so I don't need it. 0x squared is just going to be 0, so I don't need it. Negative 4x minus 1, and then I've got the plus 3 all over my original divisor, which was 4x minus 1. Again, those guys are not going to be part of your final answer because they're just 0. It's not wrong if you put them in there, but it's kind of a waste of time, and who's got time for that? Just save yourself some time. Don't write them. But when doing the algebraic division, right, without those placeholders, I think you can pretty quickly see how you're going to get confused and lost, and you don't have things lining up in these nice, neat columns anymore. It's really going to kind of... Just trust me, it's going to throw you off, especially as you're getting used to doing these problems, especially these long ones. So again, I just encourage you, don't lose those. Even though the subtraction may come out to be 0, keep the 0, keep the x to the appropriate power, and just know that at the end of the problem, you can throw those zeros out, right? You know you don't need them. While doing the problem, hold on to those placeholders, all right? You don't want to lose them. Guys, that is the end of this set of notes. At this point, you should be able to do both the the algebraic division, and when it's appropriate, synthetic division, which of course is much, much faster and a whole lot nicer. Guys, that takes care of all of the operations for polynomials. You can now add, subtract, multiply, and divide polynomials. And we spent quite a bit of time looking at the properties of exponents, so you should be very comfortable now simplifying polynomial expressions that have exponents in them. What we're going to take a look at in the next couple of sections is now some stuff with graphing polynomials. I look forward to it. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.